Thank you so much for having us here. I'm sure the seat that I'm sitting in, everyone in this room wants to be sitting on the seat, so my apologies for that already up front. And, I know that we said we'll do this a little more, speaking from the heart and, there are no holds barred. So, do we want to talk about the handshake game that's going on right now?
Yeah, I think, thank you, Smitha. I'm a match referee, so one of the match referees is probably working very hard in Dubai at the moment. It has been an issue which, we have all witnessed of late. It is between two countries. I have to probably restrict my version of, or my opinion on this one. I'm a little tongue-tied on this one, but yes, few unpleasant things on the field. I mean, it's just not about handshake. I think what has gone, a couple of days before that has added to it, I think, in my opinion. That has been the case. I think it has made the game more interesting in one way or the other. For me, the interesting part, the paramount, is India winning those games. That's important for us.
I need you to move the mic a little higher. Is he more audible? Can you just do a mic check for us?
I should be okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
So thanks, sorry for putting you on the spot, but I'll start with a question, and a lot of people in this room go through it. If you were in a situation, and is the hostile MCG ground a deal breaker, or like a lot of people in this room, getting onto a Monday morning call, everybody is off video, everyone's on mute, everyone's blaming internet. Which is the one that you would, kind of go back and not want to be a part of?
Which one do you want me to face? I would rather face you here. Cricket is cricket. I would say it's a hobby which has become a profession for me. So obviously, I would like to be in that pressure situation. Okay, sorry. Cricket is cricket for me. I mean, a hobby which becomes a profession, you can't ask for anything better. I have chosen that, so therefore I want to be at the MCG. I mean, it could be anybody for that matter, whoever the batsman is. Every ball is an opportunity for me to be there and bowl. I would rather choose that.
Okay. Everyone in this room is a technologist. I think they eat, breathe, live technology or some form of technology. And you as a bowler, sorry, my
Batsman?
bad. I'm sorry, yeah. A lot of pleasure sitting here, a little fangirl moment as well. But you as a fast bowler, you came with a lot of passion. Technology was nascent or non-existent. And then you've seen that entire evolution, right? So there was some tech, then it became a little more data, now it's got a lot more high tech. How do you see this entire evolution panning out in the world of cricket?
Like any other domains in life, I think cricket is no exception. I think technology has pervaded cricket as well. We felt the need of technology way back in 99, 2000. We were pioneers. India was known for technology already, software. I mean, you go to any part of the world, our meals used to be catered by the Indians settled abroad. So, we could have thought something about technology at that point in time. For me, the first time when I saw technology being implemented was on an Excel sheet, and that was 𝗵𝗵𝗆. Unfortunately, he died in 1999 World Cup. He was the one, I think 2007, he was the one who started this. On an Excel sheet, he used to note down few data about the batsman, about the bowler and all of it. And then he used to sort that by the end of the day and then say, okay, you bowl this many balls to Sachin Tendulkar on the outside your off stump. I think his runs dries up and therefore a possibility of getting wicket. This simple idea on the Excel sheet, we were able to translate that to a video-based technology, which you see now with all the teams sitting with the laptops and, doing some work on that one. Basically, that was every ball is a file and that is stored in the database, and then you have a query screen and then you call for it. which we achieved in 2000 with a company called Global Phoenix Solutions in Bangalore. They were a back-end work. They were doing a lot of back-end work for an insurance company in America, for the Phoenix insurance company. They had the multimedia as well as software together. They were able to put it up for us. And those days, I'm talking about, Pentium 5 machines. So from there, we were the first one to do it, in fact. The product and the whole cricketing fraternity, including South Africa, including New Zealand, they came to see what exactly we were doing. And I mean, that's the power of a product. It became such a big hit where you could get what pictures you want to see. And it made more sense for us to have team meetings and have strategies and then also correct your own game. So technology made a massive difference then. I'm talking about 2000. That's one area where what you see now is, say for example, where has Bumrah bowled in the last few games? Where is more effective? I mean, has he erred in the line? So you only call for those pictures and then you watch your action. Then there are split screens which you have seen, I'm sure, when you watch cricket. And then you can probably correct yourself immediately. So this game is more cognitive in nature. So you watch and you learn. How much ever somebody comes and tells you that you got to do this, it is not that easy for your motor learning skills to reproduce it. When you watch yourself, I think it becomes easier. So what mistakes you have done, even Tendulkar, who was so reluctant to accept technology, by the end of his career, he was very much into it. He used to look into his own pictures, his footwork, whatever it is. So technology took over completely. And now what you see today is that all team meetings, the bowlers have their own meetings, the batsmen have their own meetings. So it's all driven by how to bowl, where to bowl, these kind of things. So you are mentally well prepared when you go onto the field. So this is where technology has now reached, and it has stayed there for a long time.
Sounds like some of our meetings that we do in the office all the time. But you're a match referee, and technology plays a very, very key role. You can't get, you can't have tech telling that somebody who's not out. So what's your view? Like, how do you see that panning out in the future?
See, human capabilities have been the same from the last 150 years. So what human eyes could see when cricket was invented, I'm talking about 150 years ago, is the same now. It can't see anything different. Whereas technology has evolved. So you can see now the ball next to the bat and whether it has touched the bat or not, whether it has grazed the bat or not. And a ball which is down the leg side, I'm sure was the most difficult decision for the umpires to give. If it has touched, it's gone off the hips or off the glove. And that all happens in a rapid pace, which human eyes or human capabilities fail to capture. So therefore, the slow motions in technology, the frame rates, have changed this game completely. So anything in slow motion, you're extending in time. So therefore, you get to see more information. And therefore, decisions are made. So the technology has evolved to such an extent. And then, mind you, if you watch a game and the decisions are not part of technology, and if you just want to watch whatever that used to happen way back in 1991, when we used to play in Sharjah, and that everything was shown from a distance, and decisions were given like that now, you would lose trust in the game. So therefore, technology has become such an integral part of the decision making now. Now the leg befores have come. You have seen the ball tracking, now how the ball tracking, how accurate that is. People, still keep talking about, it might not be 1% accurate, whatever it is, but still, a lot of, MIT they sent you MIT for validation, and then, 6 cameras going at 300 frames per second. You can track the ball literally where it is and how it is making an impact on the pads, and from there on, the algorithm which takes over to make sure that whether the ball is hitting the stumps or not. So, you need transparency. The competition is so high in this game now. The stakes are also very high. So for this, without technology, I think people will lose, the trust in this game. So impossible for any one of us to watch this game without technology.
Slightly moving away from tech and what it's done to cricket, I think there's another topic that we can discuss in this room, which is ageism, and what does that mean when you're leading teams? Now, you work with heterogeneous age groups. You've also got a lot of wisdom over playing over so many years. How do you kind of balance that entire wisdom with the changing requirements or the evolution that you see with your teams? And does that stop you? Is that a holding back, or is that an enabler for you? How do you see it?
We all age, we can't stop that. I mean, that's, age is, is sticking all the time. And, how to make best of it is something that we need to see. In cricket, at the age of 27, your probably body is the strongest and your mind probably is at its best. I mean, if you're thinking better. With the technology and all, you can't go wrong. It's just that the body has to do it. As you grow older in cricket, I think your reflexes will slow down a bit. So your experience will kick in. I mean, that's where so your dynamism slightly comes down, but your experience will occupy that space. So this is how you kind of balance as you go, because sport is more physical. By the end of the day, it is about the dynamism. It's about the speed, what you generate, whether it's a batsman or the bowler generating speed, the batsman generating the, the bat pace. All of it, it's more physical in nature. But as you grow older and older, I think your value is questioned in the side. What kind of contribution? Is it your own core abilities or your, your own self in terms of batting or bowling, or can you contribute something more? I think playing cricket for nearly 14, 15 years, it kinds of, the responsibility dawns on you to help others. As the team winning, losing, whether you have got 5 wickets, whether you have scored 100, how the team has fared overall becomes extremely important. So that is where I think more responsibility taking should be one of the things as you grow older and older. They expect you to produce another good fast bowler. They expect you to produce another good batsman. Without insecurities, one has to stand up for it and then start looking into these directions. Therefore, you can probably find, more value in the side. You don't have to do it so openly, but if you are doing the right things with your youngsters, I think that's probably the way to go forward. I mean, aging in cricket should not worry because experience is always, next to you, but what kind of values you bring to the table in terms of how you help others to perform better, those things matters a lot. Be it a captain or be it a senior member of the side, people look up to you. That we have to recognize it. If you don't want to help anybody, I think your career will be shortened. And obviously, I have seen many cricketers when they were not non-committal, when they were not really doing their best, or they felt insecure getting another similar player into the side, that becomes a bit of a uncomfortable situation for them. They have paid a price for it. But if you're able to do these things, if you're aware of such things in terms of helping others, trying to scale up somebody else's performances, these things, will help you extend your career and also make you look far better than the others. And you will enjoy your cricket as well along with that.
So sporting, grey hair, walking around with a lot more swagger, with wisdom, definitely helps is what you're saying.
Absolutely, I think.
Okay, so we'll just switch a little gear on the personal side. You're a cricketer, you're a match referee. What else do you do outside?
Coming from Bangalore and all of it, all my classmates, everybody, they are into software. And, one good thing about me or one not so good thing about me is that, I did good 10 years of my engineering. So you have a lot of classmates. So technology has always been a big thing for me. A lot of people come up with AI, in cricket. Then they show me they believe that, I know a lot of things about AI. They come up with so many ideas and stuff. Recently, it's an interesting thing to speak about, how they wanted to implement AI. They have some numbers, but by the end of the day, they have come up with so many especially in the IPL, who should bat first and who should bowl at this time and who should field at where, and all this kind of information. AI, in terms of data mining, you can do all of it, but in the end, I always felt that the body has to go and implement it. Come what may, you might have the finest of best information on hand, but again, this body has to go and produce that. And what is body today now might not be the same tomorrow. That unpredictability is what humans are. So I was just telling them that, no matter what, AI, what can AI do maximum? It can tell you who should bowl at this point, whether that man is ready to bowl that particular over which he has reproduced in the past, again the same or in a similar manner. That's always a question mark. So that unpredictability, what makes us human. So, using AI to a large extent in cricket, which I see so many people are investing so many things, especially on a small scale, but whether it's going to help or not is one thing. Yes, it might give you a refined data, but whether the body is going to implement it or probably go and do the same exactly what it does remains to be seen. So I'm a proponent of a technology, and I don't know much about the programming side of it. I don't really understand much of it, but I think at the top level, from the domain point of view, how technology could be used for cricket is something that I'm passionate about, and I keep following that.
Thanks. So the last question, of course, from my side is going to be a fundamental thing to why companies come and set up in India, which is access to great talent. So we're talking about talent pipeline, and what are you doing to look at building the right kind of robust pipeline? What about attrition on your team? And what about, turnover? And how do you keep your team motivated?
For me, I think, I believe that, life is a constant interaction between your personality and environment. And if you draw parallels to cricket, I think it is the talent which is interacting with the game situation. When it comes to you people, maybe it is your knowledge which is constantly interacting with the changing environment, what you do. It could be technology, it could be anything for that matter. Talent has to develop, and it has to increase. It has to cope up with the game situation at all times. I think it is very similar. I see a lot of patterns right from the day one. I was always looking into when my friends come to me and say they have difficulties in their profession and all of it, it's the same in our cricket as well. So as long as we are reinventing ourselves in one way or the other, as long as we are able to enhance our talent, the day we stop thinking about how do I go to the next level, what's the best way, how do I add value, if you don't do that, then the environment goes at a rapid pace, and then we are left behind. These are some of the things that happens when we are in the age of 33, 34 in cricket. A lot of people kind of slack at that particular point in time. Now the careers have increased to 36, 37, 38. So that's a very crucial period where you have to bring more value to the table. And how do you scale your talent is what I think everybody is now talking about. With the software advent of software industry in India, a lot of jargons of software industry has come to cricket now. I think these are some of the questions that is asked. I'm surprised when I get to talk to people and the way they speak about. Whenever I have a conversation with the players, they speak almost the jargons what you people speak. I need to bring value to the table and these kind of things, which is this kind of cross-pollination of information is brilliant. Even talking to Siraj the other day, and in his own way, he is talking about मेरे को कुछ ज़्यादा करना है, value लाना है. So this value practice is so it has kind of caught up with everyone, and which is nice. So basically, two things. One is your talent and how you raise your talent from one level to the other, and the ever-changing game situation or the environment that you people work in could probably be the same.
So I've had my conversation. We'll open for the next 10 minutes for questions with the audience, and then we'll wrap up.
So we have First hand up here in the air. I'll give it to you.
Thank you so much. So my question is, you talked about technology advancing and being a lot more accurate than human eye. So a lot of us in this room get asked the questions, will Gen AI replace humans and that kind of thing. So what is the relevance of the match referees when the tech can do a lot more accurately?
There are some areas where technology will definitely supersede us. But if I take the cricketing example, I was doing 2018 Ashes in England at Leeds, and then we had a decision where it was a leg before appeal, and the impact was outside the off stump. I'm sure people who knows cricket will be able to understand this. The batsman is not out. So Joe Root was the batsman, and he didn't believe that. He thought he was out. Maybe he was talking. We could make out that maybe he's out. But it turned out to be that there was a very faint edge from the bat. So which even he could not feel it. Generally when the ball hits the bat, even if it's the slightest of edge, you get a feel that you have edged it. So he didn't even know that, he referred it, assuming that it was pitching outside the off stump or impact outside the off stump, but he realized that it was the bat basically. So, can it replace this from the sporting point of view? How much can technology do? I think it has saturated to a point now. The best is you can see, how you can perform. You break it into slow motions, frame rates. You can go to 1,000 frame rates. How you have bowled well before and why you're not bowling well. Those things can be seen, and all of it. Beyond that, you can probably ask the AI to say, match this picture with the previous games and get those pictures. So, those things you can do maximum. But as I said, why we are the masters and technology should be slave is that we always carry this unpredictability, unpredictable nature of ours. So we can even perform better than what we have performed, or we might underperform as well. So that's something that we need to bear in mind. Not that we need to be negative about AI, but we can probably beat the AI and then perform even something which even AI doesn't know that you have this talent. So therefore, we can probably understand ourselves better, only to progress even further. That's what I would say.
DRS certainly is a fine example, and human is always at the core of the technology, says Javagal in his own words. I'll give it to you.
Huge fanboy moment, sir. Thank you. We represent companies here. You represent our country, so thank you so much.
We gave him a quick update, like a cheat sheet on what GCC is, so he understands. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir. From what you were saying just a few minutes ago, it just struck me that the team is built together. The team has to perform like a unit, and there are quite a few times where, like how you mentioning about the body has to go out there and give that result. How do you, maybe a two-part question, how do you motivate yourself to go above and beyond and give that 100% every single ball that you bowl? And how do you motivate maybe your team members and your peers to also do that and keep together as a team? I think that's very relevant to our profession as well. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, repetition is the way of life. I think once you hit a certain age in life, we got to be repetitious. Come what may. Even you got to bowl the same line, same lengths here. The batsman has to go there, score their runs. So sometimes it becomes very repetitious, the way we do get up in the morning. It's a sport for you people, but for us, it's a profession. So, it is not easy when you get up in the morning and then again the same. So it is more physical for us. You got to do those sprints. We got to come and do the gym work and all these things. It gets into you at some certain stage. But you have chosen this to do. And end of the day, we all have to make a living out of this. So you do software and we play cricket. So it is one thing or the other. And then we got to be consistent to be somebody in this society. Even if you want to run a run-of-the-mill profession, whatever, anybody who is consistent will derive success over a period of time. just that our profession is more glamorous and you're watching it. Unless otherwise you watch and you appreciate, we don't get paid. That's how it is. So by the end of the day, as I said already, that, you know, any profession will have to go through this lean patches. Sometimes it is not the best place. I mean, that's one area where it is also a strong signal sending it to us. This boredom is basically, you know, your talent has stagnated. We got to really upgrade ourselves. So whenever we hit that lean patch, that extra bit of work that we need to do, the peers help in terms of telling you that, look, you're looking a little stale, you have to scale up. You know, this is something that I was lucky in the midst of Anil and Rahul and Venkatesh Prasad and these guys, we were quite dead honest with each other. I think peers really make a big difference. If you have honest peers next to you and somebody who can come and tell you that, look, this is not the best, you have to scale up. And if you have the heart to accept it, and if you have the heart to even tell your peers, that's probably the best thing that could happen in anybody's profession. So this is at some stage where we have our own, I would say, you know, blind spots where we believe that we are doing well, but in fact, we are not. And we need people to come and speak to us. So what I probably would believe has worked for us on many occasions is that have strong peers around you who can probably show a mirror, and that is probably the best growth.
We have time for last two questions.
Namaskara Srinath avare, nanu Mysoorinda. So the Mysore Dasara, it's all illuminated this week, and you have illuminated this occasion, so thank you. So my question is, I've heard that Virendra Sehwag sings Kishore Kumar songs on the field. So what's your secret to keep that cool when you're facing India versus Pakistan, let's say?
Each his own. I was more of a serious cricketer. There were complaints about me being not so serious when somebody else was bowling. Prasad always used to say that, you know, you're not serious when I'm bowling, but you become extremely serious when you're bowling. And everybody has their own preparation ways. Tendulkar wants absolute silence when he's batting, when he's about to go to bat. And Rahul Dravid wants all the bats, everything to be, you know, there when he is about to bat. So I used to go touch his bat and put it elsewhere. And, you know, some of these great cricketers are stingy to some extent sometimes. Rahul used to carry 10, 15 bats. And I used to pick up one and then keep it next to my kit bag. And he used to be livid. And he said, you know, that's my bat. I said, yeah, we are all playing for the country and we are all scoring runs for the same country. It doesn't really matter. So, just to, you know, a little bit of banter here every now and then. And Sehwag used to be quite casual at the center. That's the way he approached the game. Of course, you can't say one too many things to him as well. He just is a natural player. Instincts take over. He doesn't really go through the manuals of coaching. People are different. Like if you want Rahul or some extent Tendulkar, they believe in their technique, the way they are defending the ball and all of it. For him, it is about how he's hitting the ball all the time. So it's what you produce by the end of the day. It's not, you know, your approach. It cannot be mimicked or aped all the time. Everybody has their own way of preparing themselves. So that was Sehwag for you.
Last one question.
Super. We've taken a lot of questions from the front, but the gentleman raised his hand a little in advance, so I'll give the chance to him.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for coming here and enlightening us. You've been an engineer, then cricketer.
Engineer for 9 years nearly.
Then a cricketer. Now, after that, umpire for some time, then match referee. What next? That's first question. And I'm giving also clue to you also. Smitha said, what is this crowd all about? It GCCs, right? This is the Global Capability Center. You know, like every team has got now you talked about IT is very important for every team. Can you, after this, can you get India GCCs for Indian, Australia cricket team, New Zealand cricket team? If you need help, ANSR is here to help you to set up. We are all here to join you and work with you.
Sure.
Business development no ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ.
So there is no question. I'll just say yes to your answer. Actually. We can take one.
We have one more time for one more question.
I'll give this to someone from the back because I feel they are not getting an opportunity there. Yes, could you?
Thank you.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Could you tell me your question and then we'll quickly take that question? He could answer both together. Yeah? Yes,
Yeah.
please.
So another great fan of yours. Always love to see you ball. My question is that in India, such a large country, great country, you know, cricket has always been a religion here. And to that spirit, youngsters always aspire to be the star that they want to be. With such a great pool of cricketers that we are producing now, and with all the league matches, international cricket, I just wanted to pick your thought that how are we planning to provide enough avenues and opportunities such that this pool of great cricketers or wannabe great cricketers can come and, you know, be the stars. Is there something already in perspective? Just to tell you, in my friend circles, we always talk that, no, with so much talent that we have in India, India should have more than one team, you know, to represent India.
I'm sure India A, India B, India C, opportunities.
I completely agree with you. It is in such a state now, India. Basically, IPL, you know, when you play cricket for 2 months under tremendous pressure, every team is on their toes and every player is on their toes when it comes to IPL. People talk about money, people talk about, you know, players losing their way because of that extra money, what they get out of it. The money is one part of it. I mean, if people don't know how to handle money, they will pay a price for it. But the pressure with which they operate is probably the best thing that has happened to Indian cricket so far. So what you see, the success of Indian cricket of late in the last 5-6 years, winning the World Cups, reaching the finals of the World Cup, not necessarily that they will have to win every other match, because by the end of the day, you know, it is 2 teams and, you know, every team is as good as the other. Their difference is not much. One team has to win, one team has to lose. But if you see the consistency of Indian cream in the last so many years, you can easily say that they can probably have 1 or 2 teams, especially in the T20 games, especially with the white ball cricket. The expertise is so much, and the kind of exposure what they have got, especially the youngsters, they have done tremendously well. So somebody like Abhishek, what you see him now, somebody like, you know, 𝗕𝗖𝗖 doesn't get a chance. India A team, which goes and plays Australia A team, it will be unbelievable if you see India under-19s, which played in England recently while I was in England last month. England were outclassed completely. That's the strength of India. But only 11 can play for India by the end of the day. So therefore, you will only see 11. But you can probably, you know, pitch in 2 teams. Practically, it is also a possibility. You have the best of best being left out these days. So, you know, cricket has really evolved. And what I have seen cricket during my times, I'm talking about the 90s, where Australia were at the peak and all of it, this globalization has really changed the practices in terms of fitness, in terms of new talent, I mean, new skills that every player starts learning on his own. You know, one thing I have seen of late, why Indian cricket has really scaled to these heights, people believe that you don't have to look up to anybody else, but you have to look within you to know what to learn. That capacity has been built in every cricketer. So what new talent that I need to bring in, whether it is a scoop shot or let me try something, let me invent something else. So every kid is thinking in these lines. So therefore, the cricket has really scaled such heights in India. And of course, our economy has also equally played a huge part in that, which we didn't see during the 90s, which I'm also saying that I've not played IPL, so I'm a little you know, sad about it. But besides the point, that's the way life goes. I think the generation next will be even better, and the next generation will be even better. Therefore, I think cricket is in the safest hands in India at the moment.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
We'll
I'm
just take
sorry,
one.
but we are out of time.
It's
I
coming
think we
from.
can.
All right.
They've
Go
got
ahead,
like
go ahead, quick one,
host
yes.
is telling us to shut it down.
Yeah. So Jagaval, I'm a big fan, and the fan in me will be talking right now. I'm watching cricket for a long time, 1983, starting from Kapil Dev and all those. When Kapil Dev was completed his tenure, everybody told in India that, okay, the era of pace bowling in India gone. Then came a genuine fast bowler. And during the entire 90s, I have followed you very, very, very closely. And I remember you used to be very thin at that time in the beginning, and commentators used to say,
मोटापन आ जाता है जी बाद में।
and the commentators used to say, I still remember that you are vegetarian, and how come a vegetarian can compete with the folks from Pakistan, right? Like the pace were. And I remember in 1999, you bowled around 148, 149, and that's where it was in news at that time. I'm not sure whether you remember. That is the one, the genuine fast bowler has bowled the ball of that year or something like that.
A question?
Yeah, so as I said, sir,
Thank you.
that the pen in me is talking. And the question
Thank
is, you talked about the technology so much
Ji.
coming in, right? So the fun of the game was more of when it was not so certain what is going to happen next ball, how the player is going to, like uncertainty was the fun. Now, as you said, a bowler knows where to bowl to Tendulkar.
That's
right?
the point. I mean, even if you know where to bowl, the body has to do it by the end of the day. So what body does today will not be able to do in the next 3 hours. You know, thinking is right. My mind says, yes, I think I have to bowl this line every time. So if my body executes it, I have no problem. But that's the challenge. So there is a wide gap between the body and the mind. So your body has to be that fit. Sometimes, you know, when you carry an injury, you play even better. Or sometimes your over-eagerness, you try to do something extra which you shouldn't be doing. And you feel that your efforts is 150%, but you don't need 150%. You have to scale down and then bring down to 100%. So you get that accuracy and all of it. So, as I said, you know, technology and all of it can point you to the right direction as to where to bowl, what to bowl, and how to bowl at what time. But your body still has to execute it. Now, body is such a wonderful thing that, as I said, it can underperform, it can overperform. It can do both, actually. So this is why I say that, you know, no matter what technology does, by the end of it, it is giving you a direction as to what to do and how to do it. But the body has to do it. That's the thing.
So thank you so much for coming and speaking to us today. We've enjoyed this conversation, Mysore Express. Also, thank you for talking about technology, which I think everyone wanted. And then you spoke about AI. I think everyone's spoken about AI quite a bit today. And you also spoke about how curd rice can help, you know, help you with your fast bowling. But thank you so much, and I'll hand it over to you.